Welcome back to Sidebar podcast, and welcome. It's Mental Health Awareness Week. So my guest this week is good friend Andrew Rijckmans.
Hello, everyone.
Woo! Did I pronounce that right?
Rijckmans.
Rijckmans. Because I know that you're gagging to just crack on with the beer.
No, very much.
So this is beer today. I don't know if you can. Yeah, there you go. That's not too bad. So this is by Track. This is Moonmark. This is West Coast Pale Ale.
Glass as well.
Yeah.
Sophisticated.
Although the coaster is for the beer, so
yeah.
Sorry, did I spray
you? Yeah.
Oh shit, I'm spilling already. Okay.
We don't waste beer around here, man.
I know. I'm doing the worst pour.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, your pour's so. Ah, I spilled it.
What's wrong with you, man?
I spill everything every time.
Oh,
That's
the worst one you've done.
That's the worst pour.
Cheers, everyone.
I'm gonna let that settle for a second. Yeah.
Good work.
Good work. Good. So while that's settling, as I said, it's Mental Health Awareness Week.
It is.
Which is cool. I know that you're quite a big advocate of mental health, especially men's mental health in particular.
Yeah, definitely so. I think it's something that people should just be comfortable talking about, regardless of gender. Don't get me wrong. Mm-hmm. For guys, especially harder. We just go, yeah, fuck it, all right, be fine. It's not a problem. Yeah, and it's no good. No. I was reading some facts earlier. I wrote some down as well. 84 men. We're going pretty deep straight away. Boom! Straight in there. I know what to say.
Strap in. This is going to be a bit of a heavier episode than the last one. It's a sad fact that 84 men take their lives every week in the UK, which is about 4,300 a year.
That's too many.
Yeah, it is. It's because, like you said, we sort of neglect talking about mental health, especially as men. You brush it under the carpet and just assume it's all right. Yeah, and it's not. I mean, some people can get away with it for sure, but I think everybody has a breaking point. That's for sure. Mm-hmm. And when it gets too heavy, instead of going, "I need some help," we go, "I'll just put my head deeper in this problem. Don't worry about it. It's fine." And then it gets nasty after that. Yeah. And I know this podcast is all about beer, but I've always found that alcohol in those situations when you're really struggling doesn't help. And I'm not saying don't drink beer. I'm not saying that by no means, but just be careful what you're doing and how much you're drinking and stuff like that. Yeah, I was gonna have an alcohol-free beer for this, but because I knew it was you come round,
God knows, sir.
God knows, normal beer. But yeah, 80% of suicides are men. I know that you struggled with mental health in the past as well, as have I. Because you were a Marine, right?
I was a Marine. I was a Royal Marine. Yeah.
How did being in the forces affect your mental health, especially sort of coming out of the forces? As well?
I did my first tour in 2010, and that was it was a challenging tour. It was very busy, kinetic, a lot of scrapping. And I think that's where the majority of my trauma comes from, most definitely. And then me being a typical man, is like, don't worry about it. And I deployed my second tour in 2012. I came back from that in 2013, and I knew that I was struggling, like boozing too much, just being an arsehole to everyone. It's like something's not quite right here. And then the kid's mum, my ex-wife, she's a mental health nurse, so obviously she had a field day. And to be fair, with the Marines, as soon as I put my hand up and said, look, I'm struggling, they were straight off the bat to help me out. Yeah. There was no perceived prejudice or anything like that. I think that's the biggest fear of people talking about their mental health is being judged, most definitely, and thinking they're going to be weak. And you're not. You're doing the right thing. But with that, once that fear is gone, and you can actually lay your hand out and say, all right, this is what's going on. like I said with the Marines, straight away I got put into like my own private mental health worker. Lots of sessions with him. Mm-hmm. It paid off, yeah, a bit, but I know that there'll always be something there.
Yeah,
it's just part and parcel of it, unfortunately.
So we say a lot of it stems from. Obviously, we don't have to go into details, but we say a lot of it stems from the things that happened over there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Or sort of. So not so much sort of readjusting to life back over here.
That's it. That's
or is that two sides of
the
same coin?
Yeah, two sides. Yeah. Two very different sides. The things that we saw and did over in Afghanistan. Yeah, it's pretty horrible what people can do to each other. Mm-hmm. It's pretty horrible. And that definitely, I think, is like the majority of where my mental health problems come from. Yeah. It's just, certain triggers will happen, and then my brain will go straight back to Afghanistan, and I'm there, and I'm like, fuck, man. And it's hard to come out of it. But what you said there about coming back, that's a big transition as well.
Yeah.
I struggle with that a lot. And my brother came back. I had R&R when my brother had his post-tour leave, so he'd done...
What's R&R?
Rest and recuperation. Okay, so it's basically like halfway through the tour, they give you a week off, you get back to the UK and decompress for a bit. You don't, you just sit and watch the TV and see what's going on and hope your mates don't get hit. But whilst I was on my R&R, my brother was back on his pottle, and which is like his post-tour leave, end of tour leave. So he'd done 6 months. I think I was about 4.5 months in on mine, so I had a month and a half to go. And we went out on the piss one night, and me and him were just animals, mate. Just absolute animals. Not nice people to be around.
Right.
And that was all just sort of that adjustment of coming back from being in a war zone, coming back to just, fuck me, there's cars everywhere and there's people that want to talk to you and shit. So fucking no one's trying to kill me here. It's like, what the fuck's going on?
So you tried to kill them?
my brother, yeah. That's a different story. So yeah, that transition, and also exiting from the Marines when I was discharged in 2017, that was a huge hit for me, man. That I struggled with. I couldn't adjust to ordinary people.
Yeah.
Which is weird when I say ordinary people, you know what I mean? Like civilian people. It's a horrible way to put it, but it's what it is.
Civvies.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, what the fuck is this? Why is no one telling me what to do? Like, I have my own time now, I do what I want. I had 2 kids, well, I have got 2 kids still, thankfully. But I had two under 2 at that time, and it was such a head fuck, man. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh my god, the kids are screaming at me, I need to go make some money, I need to go fill the fridge. It's just...
So it's crazy, isn't it? Because you're out there in Afghanistan in the middle of a war zone, you come back, and what then starts stressing you out and feeling like the big issues are the kids are shouting and you need to fill the fridge.
Yeah.
Like when you're out there, you're hoping you don't get shot.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and you have to sort of like dance 2 ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
And yeah, when I came back after my first tour, I didn't get the coming home bit easy. Not at all. I would just be out on the piss every night.
Yeah.
And Harriet would be like, where the fuck is that? I'm fucking blind drunk. Fuck off, leave me alone. Not a good person to be around. Sorry, Harriet. But yeah. Times have changed since then. Settling into like the way my life is now, it has been hard work, but I do enjoy it, man.
Yeah.
No one told me what to do. Well, I say no one told me to do. And they have to do it. But yeah, watching my kids grow up, that's beautiful. You got kids yourself?
Yeah.
It's a crazy adventure, that, isn't it? Oh my god.
Yeah. Another one on the way.
Oh yes, congratulations, well done. Yeah.
So obviously you mentioned about you going out on the piss quite a lot.
Yeah. Oh god. Right, I'll give you one story, fine. I'll give you one story.
Is it the Vegas story?
No, I'm not giving you that one. No.
So just to give you guys, I know, but just to give you guys a little bit of insight. I haven't heard this Vegas story.
Oh,
I've just heard from people, from mutual acquaintances and mutual friends, that it's fucking mental. If you don't want to say,
how many of these we got?
We've got these, but I have more, more other beers in the fridge.
If you lose some of my lips, perhaps I'll tell the story. But one of the stories, all right, one of my silly stories. Me and Nathan, this is on when I was on my R&R and he was on the pottle. We went down.
Nathan, your brother?
No, sorry, my brother, yeah, Nathan. We're walking down Pittsburgh Street, quite drunk. Went for a piss around some alleyway, and we found this big, huge security metal door that had been taken for hinges. They rested at the back of it, like wherever it was. So I looked at my brother and looked at the door and looked at him and was like, yeah. So we took the door with us. So we ended up taking this door for a whole night out. And if you pay a person a doorman enough money, you can let a door into a club and not give a shit. And that's the reality of it. Like, you come back from a tour, you have all this money, like, just blow it, go get drunk. So we take this door out in the piss, goes with us everywhere, love that door. End of the night, we get to Prince of Wales Bridge, and do you think it'll float? Like, it's fucking steel door, Nathan. It's never gonna fucking float, is it? So Nathan pushes it offside. He's still on the edge, like, Nathan, don't do it. He jumps in. Me being me, he's like, well, I want to jump in now, aren't I? And we ended up trying to sail this thing down the Wellington, and it didn't work. Obviously, it sank quite quickly. So yeah, just one of the many silly things that I've done.
Don't do drugs, kids. Yeah, that's a good story. One day you're gonna have to tell me the Vegas one for sure.
Okay, yeah, but no. Not on this. I'll tell you one day, but not on this.
Okay. This video gets 10,000 likes. This one video, keep in mind we have 64 subscribers now. If this video gets 10,000 likes,
I'll do it. 10,000 likes, and you can have my Vegas story. That's a fair one. That's a good deal.
Shake on it.
Oh.
Fair one.
Okay.
All right.
10,000 likes.
Yeah, mate, I'm gonna regret that.
I'm about to do some marketing.
The people want the story. Give them what they want.
Yeah.
What? Right. So mental health. Go back to mental health.
Let's talk about mental health. So, one of the things that I've never really liked is the phrase "man up."
Yeah. Yep. That is a shitty one. It is a shitty one.
I feel like "man up" actively discourages men from showing any signs of weakness or addressing any problems that they've had.
Yeah. It's definitely a part of military culture, that sort of attitude that people have about it. And there's a time and place for it. I can't disagree with that. Sometimes you do just need to go, this is fucking shit, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
And you go, alright, fuck it, people pants on, let's go. But afterwards, when you have that downtime, don't come along and say man up. Go, you want to talk about this? And that's how it should be. And I think that the military is getting better at that, most definitely, because if you look at like the suicide rates in the military, they're ridiculous. And that's something that needs to be tackled. And that attitude of manning up and just getting on with it doesn't work, clearly. People kill themselves.
So out of from the thing that I read, the report that I was reading today with all the data and facts and figures on it, out of the 4,300 people that killed themselves in 2022, around 5%, so around 215 of them, were ex-military, like having served within the previous 2 years.
Yeah, that makes sense, man. That does make sense. There's it's a heavy rate. A guy I went through basic training with, he killed himself. That sucked. After tour, never saw that one coming. That bloke was a natural soldier, like an absolute warrior, man. He went away, did his bit. He went away and did some more bits, and that's what fucked him up. And he came back and he did it in style. Bless him. He went all out. But man, I never saw that one coming.
No.
And like I talked to him and go, what's going on, man? It's all good. And people have that front about him, like, yeah, it's all good, man. And secretly they're thinking, I'm gonna kill myself tonight.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck? You look at the Norwich City Football Club. They released a video last year of the mental health one, and it's that guy cheering, the other guy sat next to him.
Such a good way of.
And it's the guy that's cheering that ended up being the one that had mental health issues. And I think the problem is it's called a mental illness, right? But like people don't treat it like they treat anything else. It's like you've got the flu, you've got a broken arm, anything like that, you're gonna get treatment for it. Yet a mental illness, it's still an illness. Yet people don't.
That's it. Yep. And I think that I don't know. This is something that I've had conversations with people about. Is like when people think about like my mental health, for some reason, not everyone, but some people go like, well, he's had it way worse than me. It's like, no, it's not a fucking competition. Mental health is not a fucking competition. It's not. It doesn't matter how you broke your arm or how you broke your leg or why your brain is injured. It doesn't really matter how it happened. It's broken regardless.
And this is something me and Rowan always say as well. Is like, just because you've broken your arm and all I've got is a cut on my finger, it doesn't mean that the cut doesn't hurt.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I think that's I've definitely known people to sort of like try to overplay the mental health problems, which is fine. That's fair enough, and that in itself is a mental health problem, which needs to be addressed as well. So, like I said, it's not a competition. You just, if you're broken, just put your hand up and go, "Can I have some help, please?" That's all you can do, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, and my thing is, on the other side, and this is going to be a bit of a hot take, I think. And, on the other side of that, I feel like there are some people out there who use the words depression and anxiety as an excuse, rather than they're actually struggling with depression.
Yeah,
they use it as I can't go to work today.
You have to challenge it. That's what I learned that most definitely. And I'll put my hand up and say, there's definitely times where I should have got out of bed and gone, nah, some PTSD, man, just fucking stay in bed today. Instead of just being fucking lazy. I know I am. Just cracking another beer. It's fine. It's fucking 8 in the morning, doesn't matter. Cheers. Just being lazy. PTSD. And people do it, most definitely. And that's a challenging one. But it's a hard one to deal with.
Because as soon as you start questioning it and challenging it, people then get more offended.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Obviously, there's another way that people try to cope with it.
Yep.
Drinking seems to be the biggest one. Drinking and drugs.
Yeah. Yep. There's other ways around it, man. I know guys who come back off tour absolutely tapped, and they work out. They just work out, and that's their life. That's what it becomes. And you see it in city streets as well. You see someone going down the gym like every day, training religiously, and then you see them like, go back in the afternoon. He's like, "Man, are you okay?" Because you're trying to work through something here, clearly. But yeah, with us, booze is always the one for me, man.
Yeah. Mine was Coke. Yeah.
And white lines will get you.
They will. I don't know if my mum will end up watching this episode or not.
Sorry, mum.
Sorry, mum. But I think in the last 10 years, I've probably blown through the best part of £20,000 in Coke.
Yeah, easy done.
It's only been the last couple of years, since Roe, really, that I've sort of started sorting my life out. And but yeah, like, because I was in the worst place just before I met you, wasn't I? As well? Like, we sort of discussed it. But yeah, like wanting to kill myself, suicidal thoughts. This was another fact that I read, and I wrote it down somewhere as well. Around 7%. I think it was actually like 6.9% of men around the UK have suicidal thoughts at least once a year.
Yeah, I can understand that. Yeah, 100%.
Considering how many men there are, 30, 40 million men in the UK, and around 7% of them, I think, are killing themselves at least once a year.
Yep. I don't know why it's like our de facto for men. Question for you: when you get really, really sad, do you think about killing yourself? That's a really deep question. I'm sorry to put in the spot like that. And do you find that other women feel the same way?
I have in the past.
Yeah.
And I've related to like my girlfriends about it.
Yeah. Guys don't do that.
Yeah. I thought because we obviously have our like time of the month and stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like we go through a cycle of hormones, and I feel like I relate to other girls because we talk about that anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, this month I felt this.
Yeah.
So I already have that link.
Yeah.
To open the conversation.
Yeah.
Where it's like, where's it coming from for you guys? You know what I mean? Like, there's already links to it with us.
Yeah. Okay.
And you work in quite a female dense office as well.
Yeah. So I have women around me that. Yeah. If I needed someone. I'm quite lucky that I have good community.
Yeah. I think if guys have the same community, we just don't do it.
Yeah, like, so it's times like where me, you, and Josh, who's obviously been on the show, like we'll go down and just sit at the pub and drink and talk shit, rather than if there's actually something. Although, to be fair, since I've known you particularly, I haven't really had any issues, like, but I know that there's people that have, like, who just don't talk about it.
Yeah.
And I do think that's one of the biggest problems with men.
Yeah. I found after doing like fucking a night of lines, beers, and weed, like I can sit and talk to Josh about my mental health so openly, and he'll do the same thing back to me, and I'm sure we do the same thing. We're on the same vibe. That's a nice feeling. I think sometimes you need some sort of lubricant to break down the barriers. It's usually this one.
Yeah.
But again, like I said, just be careful with it, because you do too much of it, and you get the angry, ugly side come out. And you're like, oh shit, get back in your box.
Yeah, and I think this is why, obviously, because I've been doing Sidebar, and then I've been doing comedy nights where I have a couple of beers.
Amazing, good work.
Thank you very much. But I've found myself drinking so much more, like 2 or 3 beers. Yeah. At least a beer a day, but sort of 10 plus beers a week on nights where I'm not going out, just like chilling at home. Yeah. Which is why when you turned up, I was drinking a non-alcoholic beer.
I saw that.
Yeah. I wanted to chill in the sun and drink a beer, but I'm trying to drink. Trying to drink less.
I did 3 months sober at the start of the year, which is amazing. I've not been sober for a long fucking time, for a period of time. When I was, here's a story for you. When I was no, not Vegas. When I was still serving, I was in like a what do I call it? It's like a rehab cell. It's like just everyone chill the fuck out. You're not actually working. We'll try and get you better. Whilst I was there, drinking very heavily. When I say very heavily, like an average night would be at least 6 cans, and then probably a quarter of a bottle of whiskey every night, regardless. It's fine. But basically,
you're thinking about how much you can say.
Yeah, I am definitely. But that would seem like an absolute psycho. Basically, they gave me a choice: either voluntarily admit myself onto a detox ward and detox for 2 weeks, or get sectioned. And I was that close to being sectioned.
Wow.
Yep. Very, very close. And yeah, that's how much I was drinking. And like you said, too much of it. And you find yourself, you slip into it so easily.
Yeah.
Well, one can maybe on a Friday after work. And then it's like, oh, maybe a pint on Sunday evening. Who knows? And the next thing you know, every night.
Yeah. So I did a stand-up show last Tuesday. Yeah, I did a stand-up show last Tuesday, and I was like, I'll have 1 beer before I go on.
Yeah.
Because that's courage.
Oh.
And then I got pushed back in the set a little bit, so I was like, I'll have another one. And then I was halfway through my 3rd one by the time I actually got up there.
Was that one I went to?
Yeah.
Get out. You are amazing. Funny guy. If you haven't seen it, watch it. Someone must have a video of it. You have to watch it. It's good.
Or I've got 4 more shows coming up in the next 3.5 weeks. Yeah, I've got one on Wednesday, one right now. As you guys are watching this, as it's being released, I won't be watching it. I'll be at a stand-up doing a set. And then I've got another one on the 28th of May, one on the 3rd of June, and one on the 5th of June.
Where?
Norwich.
That'll do. We can deal with that. That's fine. You got those dates. You know where we're at. Boom.
3rd of June is at Gonzo's.
Fuck.
Yeah.
That'll be a good night.
It's a big gig. It's going to be a good one.
How long have you got?
I think like 10 minutes. Yeah.
New material?
Some new material, but mainly material that I did.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Practicing the same set.
Yeah.
Also, just quick break in the middle. You may notice that the camera is like dimming and shining.
Yeah, that's my bad. I keep leaning in as well.
No, it's because of how the light is, and we haven't got studio lights set up yet. So yeah,
we're actually in the jungle. There's nothing around it. There's no electricity.
We're in the middle of the jungle. There are obviously good habits that people can take out of, habits that people should pick up to help them with their mental health.
Yeah.
I found that not taking cocaine almost every night helped.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So cut down what's fucking you up, most definitely.
Yeah.
And
I know it can be hard as well.
Yeah. I when I got discharged from the Marines, I was on like a bucket load of prescription meds, all sorts of shit, and I fucking hate it, man. I hate having this sort of dependency. If I don't take this pill today, I'm not gonna feel normal. So what the fuck? One's when the pills went out.
Yeah.
One's in then. Like, I'm fucked. So I tried to get thinking about what I was gonna do. I tried going just teetotal, just going straight off cold turkey. Nope, don't do that. That would really fucking ruin your day. So I ended up titrating with cannabis instead, which was a fucking massive game changer. And I was still with Harriet, the kid's mum at the time, and she treated it like a controlled drug. So it was in a locked box. Every evening, I'd roll one spliff, have a little smoke. She shut the box. That was it, and I'm all weed done. And then that worked for a while, but I realised I have a very addictive, compulsive nature. So when I feel something's nice, I go, I want some more of that. I want some more of that. Obviously, so cannabis became the new drug. And yeah, like you said, man, just be careful with whatever it is you do. Just be careful. Find something that works for you and manage it correctly, like working out or cannabis or alcohol, whatever it is. Just find your balance with it. That's what you can do.
Yeah. We have a bit of a platform. Obviously, it's a very small following at the moment, but let's lean into this cannabis thing a little bit more.
Yeah,
because it's fucking mental that it's still illegal over here.
It blows my mind. Blows my mind, man.
Just just hear me out for a minute, right? Imagine the government making cannabis legal. How much money they would make.
Oh yeah, 100%.
No one's ever fucking died from being too high.
Yeah, but think how much money they'll lose from alcohol. You got to think of the flip side, and that's what the government. That's the way I see it. Yeah. We're a nation of pissheads, unfortunately. We fucking love our booze. If we replace it with something that makes us way happier, makes us less violent, and probably costing us a whole heap less of money because we're not boozing ourselves to death. Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Mental. Pretty mental. I don't even really smoke. Well, I don't smoke.
I fluctuate.
But but yeah, I don't even smoke it, and even I think it should be legal.
Yeah. It's so much better for me. If you know me, say, if you know me 10 years ago, you wouldn't have liked me, man. Because all I did was drink. And I was a cunt. I was not a nice person. But now, cannabis in my system, I know when I've got a good healthy dose of THC in my system, I feel chilled. Not chilled, I'm still productive. I don't get fucking mongoed every night. I still wake up, I go to work. I'm very good at my job. And I enjoy it and I love it.
Yeah.
In the evening, instead of going, I'll have a 4-pack of beer, I go, I'll have half a joint. And I'll watch some funny cartoons and laugh my ass off and go to sleep laughing to myself. And wake up at 6 a.m. and go, ta-da!
Yeah,
and not be hungover.
To get that same level of buzz.
Yeah.
Like, to get that same level of smashed on alcohol, you're going to feel like shit.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Well, so I'm gonna do a little bit of talking. Because obviously it's Mental Health Awareness Week this week, 13th to the 19th of May, I think. So yeah, it is Mental Health Awareness Week. If you're struggling, talk to somebody, anybody. Like, honestly, even drop us a message. Drop Sidebar a message on
I don't mind.
any of the socials.
Doesn't bother me at all.
One of us will pick it up if you just need to talk to somebody. Like, we're absolutely fine. I know that I actually wrote the stats down. I know that 90% of the people that watch this podcast are male between the ages of 18 to 45. Because
That's a good demographic.
It's the demographic.
Talk, boys.
Just honestly,
don't be afraid of it.
Just talk, like, because it's not a fucking problem. Like, no one's gonna judge you, like, for actually opening up about it.
Yeah.
It's again, like, so I wrote these facts down. I read them as I wrote them. It's a sad fact that 84 men take their lives every week in the UK, which is over 4,300 a year, because mental illness is often neglected or overlooked in men. And in fact, 80% of suicides happen to be men. It's the single biggest killer of men under 50 years old. And still, around 7% of men admit to having suicidal thoughts in the last 12 months. There are loads of charities. There are loads of organisations out there that can help. There's so many people you can talk to. We're going to put a whole bunch of links, numbers, all sorts in the description of this video and in our Linktree bio or whatever it is on Instagram as well. We'll cut this into a couple of shorts as well to try and get a bit of a better reach, to just reach out to people. And we're not monetized yet, obviously, but when we are monetized, any money that's made from this video will be getting donated to CALM, which is Campaign Against Living Miserably. I think. If I remember that, didn't write that one down. Also, go check out. So we've been talking to the guys over at Boys Get Sad Too, which are an awesome clothing brand. We're going to put a link in our bio as well about them over on Instagram. So make sure that you go check that out. But yeah,
can I shout out quickly?
Yeah, of course.
Men's Shed, you guys are good. Do you think?
Men's Shed as well. We'll put their link in the description below, and again on our Instagram as well. Honestly, just reach out to somebody. Don't suffer in silence. Because we need to stop men killing themselves.
Yeah,
it's not worth it.
Just be kind to each other. Also, 10,000 likes, you get to that story.
Cool. Thanks very much for watching Sidebar podcast. What was it called?
Words.
The words. Thanks very much for watching Sidebar podcast. Stay safe. Look after each other. Stay excellent, and we will see you soon. Cheers. Bye.
Bye.